Welcome back for another episode of Cooking with Chunk, the Super Chunk. That's right. So today, it's November. What does that mean? It means Turkey Day's coming up. So today, I'm going to show you how to smoke a turkey on the Yoder YS640. We've already put it in brine and stuff like that, so it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to season it up, throw it on there. I'm going to roast it at a pretty high temperature today. Let it ride. So let's get to cooking. All right, so this process actually started yesterday. So the first thing that we had to do was it started a few days ago actually. I bought the turkey frozen from a local supermarket. I chose a 14 pounder. Actually, the only reason why I chose a 14 pounder is because it was actually the smallest one I could find. I didn't want to do a big giant bird. Why? Because everybody likes the big 24 pounders, but the problem is they take forever to cook. And by the time you cook the outside, the inside's not done, everything else. I find it much easier to cook smaller turkeys. If you want 25 pounds of turkey, buy two 12-pound turkeys. It's really not that difficult. Easier to manage, much more tender, much more young turkeys. So ultimately, I bought it, I think, on Wednesday of last week. I put it in the refrigerator, let it thaw out just slowly as it goes. And yesterday, today's Monday, so yesterday being Sunday, I took it out, I unwrapped it, I rinsed it off in the sink, took out all the giblets and all the other goodness that comes in them, all the extras, and I spatchcocked it. And if anybody doesn't know what spatchcocking means, it means to basically lay the bird down flat by cutting out the backbone. You do that, and I've got some video here, I'll show you how to do it. And did that, put it in a turkey brine. The brine I used was a Sweetwater Spice turkey bath. I did the holiday spice one. It's pretty awesome, I gotta tell you. It smells amazing. I'm gonna hit it with this Cattleman's Grill Ranchero rub once before we put it in the smoke, but cut the backbone out, laid it flat, put it in the brine. It's been brining since yesterday at around 4 or 5, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon today on Monday. So we're looking at a high temperature, 375 on the smoker. Probably gonna take about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to do the turkey out there on the smoke. So let's go ahead and get started, get this out of the brine and let it ride. All right, so we got the turkey here on the briner bucket. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these before. I got this online. Basically, it's just a bucket specifically for brining. This is a pretty big one. It could probably hold up to two turkeys, depending on the size, obviously. It'll hold up to like 4 chickens. I did some chickens in it before, but the nice thing about this specific briner bucket is when you open it up, it has a diverter that's in it that holds the product, whatever it is that you're trying to brine, down underneath the water. So that way it kind of locks into place, so you're not having to use a bucket or a cooler and your wife's fine china to hold down your stuff, because you know what happens when that happens. Always end up breaking something or it gets disgusting and you get yelled at and you don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and get this turkey out of here. I'll show you what we're working with, but first, as always, it's nothing like the smell of latex. Even though I don't know that these are latex, these are probably nitrile. I don't know. Smell like greatness. All right. See, it smells like Nick Williams. So, let's get working on this. So talking about the little diverter, here's the piece. Basically, it slides down in. There's little grooves that help it stay down. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this turkey out of here. Oh yes. Oh yeah, let it drip dry. Throw it down here on some paper towels so we can see what we're working with. And also I don't want to get my counter all nasty. So spatchcocking, as you can see, traditionally the bird would be sitting up, but since I cut the backbone out, it will lay flat. So this way everything cooks evenly on the same level. So by the time the thighs and legs are done, the breast should be done, and the wings are obviously the easiest to cook because they don't take long at all. So All I'm gonna do now is just pat this dry as best as I can. I'm gonna put it on a sheet tray and I'm gonna hit it with some rub. So let me go ahead and get this dry and I'll get it on a sheet tray and we'll start knocking out the rub. So stand by. Okay, as you can see, I've got it all pretty much dried off to my liking. If there's a little bit of moisture, it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the rub. I chose this rub today, this Cattleman's Ranchero, because it's got a good poultry base and it's good on turkey, it's good on chicken, it's even good on pork. So it's not your traditional barbecue, but generally speaking, Thanksgiving turkey isn't so much barbecue. When you're smoking, it's supposed to be more savory than barbecue. So I'm gonna use this. So first thing, I like to get the seasoning underneath the skin on the meat. So most of the time, you can just peel this back and expose a lot of this meat here. So that way you're actually getting your seasoning underneath the skin as opposed to just on the outside where it just sits on the skin. I mean, that still works for the most part, but you know, like let's get it where it counts. Let's get it on the meat so everybody gets that good savory bite. Pull this back. There's just the fat and stuff that's connected on the skin is connected to the meat. So you just kind of just work your way down there. Just do it, you know, just do it carefully because you don't want to really tear the skin because that would kind of defeat the purpose. So I'm going to get that out. Let me take off this glove because I don't want to muck up my seasoning. So one clean hand, one gross hand, right? At least those are the rules that Nick Williams lives by. So that, and also do it right here on the thighs. The thighs are generally easier to do. There's actually a little trick here. You just get it started, you just kind of push on the drumstick here and it kind of pops itself right on out. So you can kind of get most of the thigh and most of the drumstick at once. And then you just throw it back on over and it works. It's pretty nice. Turkeys are very resilient animals apparently. Skin is loose AF. So let's go and do this. So let's talk about the brine for a second while I'm doing this. So I chose the concentrated brine, but you can use whatever brine that you like. Essentially, brining turkeys it adds moisture to the meat by adding salt and sugar, and it penetrates the meat and just puts flavor into the meat. When otherwise, the only thing that you're going to get is by whatever rub or whatever seasoning you put on the outside or on the inside. I'm spatchcocking here, so obviously everything's going to be cooking a little differently than if you were to just have a turkey regular style with it in the cavity. You would stuff the cavity with stuff like that. I mean, hence the word stuffing. And this turkey here will go great with my favorite kind of stuffing, which is, everybody knows, the red top box or the red box. If you don't, I don't think you've ever eaten Thanksgiving in America. But you can do whatever you want, whatever side you like. Green bean casserole is always another good one. Everything else. So I got the meat all done here, so I'm going to go ahead and just season the outside. You know, you may think that this is a lot of seasoning. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but remember, this is a 14-pound turkey. You know, granted, maybe a pound or two of bones. But we want to get this all over the outside because it's going to create that delicious bark that everybody likes on the skin. So do this, and then we're going to flip this over and do the same thing for the backside. So I'll be right back to you. All right. Like I said, we're cooking today on the Yoder's YS640 pellet grill. I've got it loaded up with some hickory and some cherry pellets. Go ahead and get the bird on. I'm going to actually cook it in the pan today, catch some of those juices. That way I can drag the meat through it later. So I'm cooking, I have set up for indirect cooking today. So that means I've got the plate diverter in. So let's get this up here. I'm going to put it on a top rack. It fits nice and beautiful. And we'll go ahead and get this going. I'm going to cook it for about an hour and then I'll start probing for temp, just see where we are. But in about 30 minutes, I'm going to go just rotate it and 180 degrees. So that way we got some more even cooking. So I'll see you back in about 45 minutes. All right, Well, it's been about 2.5 hours. I've come out about every 30, 45 minutes to turn it. So let's check, see what it looks like. Last time I checked, about half an hour ago, it was looking pretty good, so. Oh yeah, look at that skin. Nice golden brown. Let's check the temp, see where we're going. Wings got a little dark, but hey, that's okay. I could have tucked them under, but you know, hey, it's all good. Let's check this breast here. Let's see what temp we're rocking. We're looking for about 165 in the breasts. So that's pushing about 160. Let's check this other side. Let's see. This side's pushing 167. All right, so just to be sure, I want to check the deepest part of the thigh here. You can already tell it's done just by the way that the meat has no resistance whatsoever. This one says 200, but I may have been poking a bone there. Let's see, just hit right. Nice crispy skin. So basically we are where we want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, cover it with some foil, let it rest for about 15, 20 minutes. It's gonna carry over a few degrees, so we'll be right in that target range. So let me take care of this. I'll get it inside, put it under some foil, let it rest, and we'll get back to you. We'll cut it open, see what's up. That looks good. Okay, well, it's been about 15 minutes. We've let it rest. So it's now time to do a little carving, see how we did. So I'm gonna start up here at the top. I'm gonna do the breasts. And first things first, gotta get this wing off. So just get it started here. You can generally just peel it back, find that joint, and go right through it. This thing smells ridiculous. There is definitely a overtone of apple I'm getting. Never used this brine before. Not really expected. So that, and certainly the herbs. So there's that. Let's break this down and go ahead and hit these thighs. Look at that. When you spatchcock, it makes it so easy because basically the only thing holding the thighs on is the skin. So obviously you're not going to probably serve that as one portion, but you know, we'll deal with that in a minute. So now that we got rid of the wishbone, it makes slicing much easier. So let's just slice into this. Make a few slices here. Whether you like it thick or thin. I'll do a couple thick ones, and then I'll do a nice thin one here. I'll pull it out so we can take a look. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfectly done, nice little smoke ring. Let's check out this juice. Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. You can see it. So let me try this. Let me give this a try, see what it tastes like. Perfect. Super moist. You can taste the brine. It's a little salty, nice and herby. Let me get a piece of the skin here. The skin ended up on this nice and crispy. Like, you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's definitely crispy. So I'm gonna try this skin with the seasoning. Oh man, that rub and this brine work so well together. Perfectly cooked. Like I said, we took it to between 160 and 165. We rested it. 175 in the dark meat. See, it's cooked perfectly. It's not overdone. It's not dry. It's juicy, flavorful. So give this recipe a try. If you like, you can find the rubs and the brine at atbbq.com, which is allthingsbarbecue.com. That's where I got it from. I'm not sure if you can get it on Amazon, but you might be able to find it other places. So give this a try. I'm sure you'll like it. Man, it's just so juicy. Well, I'm gonna sit here and eat some and probably go to sleep later on from all the turkey goodness that makes you sleep. So we'll see you later. Have a happy Thanksgiving and rock on. Peace. Oh man, it don't get better than this, man. Mm.